excuse for a bell here in Bordeaux starts the action, and Aquino in the tiger skin trunks and Duane Thomas from the famed Kronk stable in Detroit in gold. The champion making his first defense of his WBC super welterweight crown.
Tim, both fighters are good punches. Good right hand by Aquino. Both good punches, and they can both hurt a guy with one shot.
It is very warm in this arena in Mérignac, just in the outskirts of Bordeaux. No air conditioning, a metal roof, and the temperatures here have been unusually high the past 2 weeks in the Bordeaux region. And consequently, today we had temperatures, quite high humidity, temperatures running close to 90 degrees. So it's probably at least that in here this evening.
Thomas is a very, very patient fighter, Tim. And Aquino is looking to get off. He's looking to make a war out of it. But if you remember against Mugabe was throwing those wide winging punches, and he got beat to the punch by a short little left hook. That was the end of the ball game.
In round number 3 last December, winning the then vacant crown vacated by his Kronk stable teammate Thomas Hearns. He won the vacant crown from John Mugabe in round number 3. Mugabe people claimed that it came from an accidental thumb, but it was a knockout scored by Duane Thomas, and this is first defense. His mom Barbara, his father John, his wife Joyce, and his son Duane Jr. all here, and the entire Aquino family along from California, along with a number of his friends making the trip over to France from Santa Paula.
Tim, Thomas has a good left jab, good stiff left jab, but so far he hasn't been using it. There's a good stiff left jab.
A little bit of showboating by both guys here in round number 1, trying to give that show of confidence. Under a minute to go in the first round.
Well, Aquino is fighting with his hands down, Tim.
Watching Aquino work this week, it was apparent that he was very relaxed and confident, well-trained, and just seemed to feel that this is his fight, his night. Scheduled for 12. Under 30 seconds we go. Judging by the response to the undercards here, if these boxers give them some action, the crowd here in Bordeaux will go crazy. They love boxing, but they're harsh critics. They want to see them heated up before they'll respond. Final seconds of round number 1. Good solid jab by Thomas. Mérignac Sports Complex in Bordeaux, France. You're watching the WBC Super Welterweight Championship, and a solid left by the challenger Aquino, and the counterpunching of the champion Thomas. Thomas in gold, Aquino in the tiger skin trunks.
Emmanuel Stewart told Duane Thomas not to pull back. He says, close the distance a little bit. He says, be a little careful. Let him burn himself out. He's using a lot of energy. He'll probably slow down after 3 rounds.
Emmanuel Stewart, the well-respected trainer, working the corner of Duane Thomas, the champion, along with cutman Ralph Citro. Abel Sanchez, the trainer of Lupe Aquino. Richard Wambold working in the corner with him. There's a good right hand by Lupe Aquino.
Very relaxed fighter, Tim.
He is indeed smiling there. Thomas here in round 2, scheduled for 12. We had a Lupe upset last week on CBS Sports Sunday with the victory by Lupe Suarez over Juan Laporte. Lupe Aquino making upset here. Ranked number 5 in the world by the World Boxing Council. Just 23 years of age.
He's talking to Thomas. He's smiling at Thomas. Very, very confident guy for a challenger. And Duane Thomas just doesn't lose his cool. Good defense. Snaps that jab out. And as Emmanuel Stewart said, Aquino is doing all the work. And in these heated conditions, Tim, it could be a telling factor later in the fight.
Good point, Gil. It is very, very warm indeed, very humid. In Aquino's favor, that work so far is paying off and piling up points, but whether he can maintain it will be the question. Under a minute to go, round number 2.
Stiff jab by Aquino.
Trying to follow up now, backing Thomas into the far corner.
And he nailed Thomas, and Thomas said no, shook his head, it didn't hurt. That usually means he was hurt, Tim.
Against Davey Moore and in the gym, Aquino's best punch appeared to be a left hook to the body, but we haven't seen that yet.
He was also very effective when he switched to the southpaw style, Tim.
Yes. Judges are Duane Ford from Las Vegas, Sid Nathan from Great Britain, and Luis Michel from France. Aquino continues to press the champion. And a solid left, down he goes. Lupe Aquino with a left hook.
Right on the button,
Tim, looking right at the referee, Larry O'Connell from Belfast, and appears to be fairly clear-eyed.
And here comes Aquino.
Aquino, another left hook, a dandy. Thomas fighting in desperation, and the referee has jumped in and stopped the fight. Is the round?
I don't think
no,
so.
Emmanuel, is that the end of the round?
The Chinese bell rang, Tim. Nobody heard it.
Oh, my goodness. We could not hear the bell. And the round had ended. The bell here, Gil Clancy refers to it as the Chinese bell. It's literally a dinner gong. They don't have the kind of bell. There it is, the big left hook. And now we're back live in round number 3. Lupe Aquino, the challenger, knocking the champion Thomas down late in round 2.
But he woke Thomas up, Tim. These Kronk fighters are all in excellent condition.
Thomas jabbing effectively now early in round 3. A little less movement from Aquino. Aquino keeps the pressure up, but Thomas able to block those punches with his arms. Round 3 scheduled for 12. Drama late in round 2 with a knockdown scored by Aquino.
When Aquino throws that right hand, Tim, he's very well schooled. He comes back with that left hook. And that was the punch that did it last round. Almost again now.
Right hand scored by Aquino to the ear of the champion. Lupe Aquino, 30-2 with 1 draw, 22 knockouts. His only loss is to Marlon Starling over 12 rounds and Rudy Hernandez.
Tim, I have a feeling we're going to see a couple of knockdowns in this fight. Both guys are throwing bombs.
Well, Thomas, for his part, 23 knockouts in his 29 victories. He's lost only once. Buster Drayton, and that came on a cut.
They were just testing each other's strength, Tim, like two little bulls in there.
There's a left hook from Aquino. Under a minute to go in round number 3. Solid jab by Thomas, cut Aquino coming in.
Aquino is feinting, moving his head, looking for those openings. He's trying to force a fight. Now he just switched to southpaw.
Apparently a loose piece of, oh no, it's the lace on the shoe of the challenger Aquino. And the referee alertly stopping action. Larry O'Connell, the referee from Belfast.
You know, Tim, he has good ears because he heard that bell. Now he has good eyes. I couldn't spot an open shoelace with those tiger shoes on.
I don't know how he heard the bell.
Good
Right hand lead by Thomas. Yes, it landed. Solid jab back from Aquino.
Aquino, despite the fact that he gives the appearance of always moving forward, Tim, he has good legs. He can skip out of the way of those Thomas punches.
Round number 4, live from Bordeaux, France. Duane Thomas in gold, the challenger Lupe Aquino. In the tiger skin trunks, Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy at ringside here. And the early knockdown of the fight scored at the end of round 2 by the challenger.
Tim, Emmanuel Stewart told Duane Thomas, he said, you're allowing him to dictate the pace. Put the pressure on him now. And that's looked to me like what he's starting to do.
He sure
Beautiful
did.
combination.
As you said it, he landed a real good combination.
But you see, Tim, they're testing each other's strength. Like two little bulls.
No decision as to who's the stronger with what we've seen here so far, but you have to give Aquino the marks for the knockdown.
Aquino switched to that southpaw style, Tim, and he nailed Thomas immediately. But you know, when you're winning and you're ahead, and I think he is ahead, I don't know why he'd switch off. Now he's back the other way.
There's that left hook underneath. Aquino forcing the issue again, backs Thomas into the ropes. Both boxers sweating profusely in this high heat and humidity. The Marignac Sports Complex in Bordeaux.
Good right hand by Aquino. Tim, his jab has been surprising me. Duane Thomas is known to have that good stiff left jab, and so far, Aquino's jab has been very, very effective. See how he skips back? He's got good legs, Aquino. Gets out of the way pretty good.
Thomas just missed with a straight right. Nailed him on the ear as he moved his head away from it.
Tim, when you hit somebody on the ear, you didn't miss him, kid.
Well, he just kind of grazed it. He didn't make solid contact.
No, Tim, he hit him.
There's a good left inside from Aquino. Under a minute to go.
Thomas is starting to close the distance a little bit now. He has to reach Aquino with that jab. Good left hook by Thomas.
The champion's best wins over Mugabe, Nino Gonzalez, Sumbu Kalambe, who scored the upset victory recently over Harold Graham of Great Britain. David Braxton.
Stiff jabs by Aquino. That has been the surprise of this fight. Another stiff jab by Aquino. Another one.
There's a right-hand counter landed by Thomas.
Fighting very confidently, switching southpaw back orthodox style.
Final seconds of round 4. World Championship action from Bordeaux, France. The champion, Duane Thomas. We haven't given him a round yet, although the last one was close. The challenger, Lupe Aquino.
Tim, I don't think Emmanuel Stewart has either. He told him, he says, you're in deep trouble scoring-wise. He says, you're going to have to go out and gamble. And then Aquino's going, they said, go to the body a little bit more.
Abel Sanchez, the trainer of Aquino. Emmanuel Stewart, the trainer of the champion, Thomas.
Emmanuel Stewart said you have to go to phase 2. So I guess they have this different styles to use at different parts of a fight. But in the meanwhile, Emmanuel did say you're in deep trouble scoring-wise.
Both fighters landed on that exchange. Don't forget, we'll have more coverage of the Tour de France and boxing again next week. From France, we'll be at Saint-Tropez for the boxing. Terrence Ali, Jose Luis Ramirez, lightweight championship action. And the Tour will be arriving in Avignon.
Tim, it seems to me that the key to this fight so far, again, has been Aquino's jab. There it is again. And he sets up his other punches beautifully with it. I never thought he'd be able to out-jab Thomas. He just did it again. You mentioned that he had the reach advantage, but normally with good timing, that's not that important. But in this fight, apparently it is. Good combinations by Thomas.
Yeah, that's all the left of the ear.
Well, that was Aquino switching to the southpaw style. I don't think that's necessary when you're winning. Why change?
Thomas picking up the pace, then takes a good right shot to the body from Aquino. And Aquino just took the play right away from Thomas after he got it generated.
Thomas nailed him with a good body shot, though, Tim. And he's pressuring Aquino now, Tim. He's the guy that's coming forward.
There's two good shots from the champion, Thomas. Under a minute to go, round number 5.
Now Thomas starts to assert his strength. He pushed Aquino off that time, but again, the good jab by Aquino.
30-second mark, we go on round number 5. The champion Thomas in gold, cutting off the ring now, giving Aquino less room to move. Aquino with a brief flurry, but no effective punches. There's one underneath just as they are separated. Coming to the end of round number 5. Best one for the champion so far.
Look at that stiff jab. Good right hand by Aquino.
Kind of jumped in with it, but he timed it right.
Well, Tim, you know, he said that I'm going to prove to people that I can box in this fight. That's what he told me. And he does. He has good footwork, gets out of the way, moves side to side. Yeah, then from the southpaw position, walked away, came right back and nailed Thomas. Fighting a smart fight thus far.
Lupe Aquino with 33 professional fights to his credit. Had only 13 as an amateur. There's a good left hand by the champion.
And another good one.
Aquino stays right there and slugs it out as he did with Davey Moore. He came out on top of that one, but he can't count on that every time. Solid jab by Thomas. Thomas with another good jab.
Well, Thomas is really putting the pressure on now. Feels that he hurt him.
Aquino seems to revel in that kind of warfare. But Thomas taking the play away from him here in round number 6. There's a good right by the champion.
And Aquino again expended a lot of energy with no effective punches.
Both of them a little weary from that last series of exchanges. Under a minute to go in round 6.
Thomas is loading up with those big bombs. Look at the way that jab of Aquino sets up his combination. Then a good left hook by Thomas.
Under 30 seconds to go in the 6th round, scheduled for 12.
They gave Aquino good advice in the corner because Thomas has his hands very high. Means that body is wide open.
Coming to the end of the 6th round. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy live from Bordeaux, France. This is round number 7, WBC Super Welterweight Championship. The champion Thomas in gold, the challenger Aquino in tiger skin. And Thomas, as we have seen it, came on to win the last 2 rounds, albeit closely, but still trails on our card.
Tim, I think this is a key round in the fight because Thomas has made a little bit of a comeback. If he can continue it now, I think that it's going to be a big change in the fight. If Aquino takes this round, however, Thomas, I think, is in deep trouble.
Well, they're both banging away here early in the 7th. Changing heavy leather and a good inside shot from the champion Thomas, and then he pushes Aquino away.
He's using a short little left uppercut, Tim, and it's been very effective. Meanwhile, Aquino is trying to mug him.
Coverage of the Tour de France and more championship boxing action next week on CBS Sports Sunday. We'll be live at Saint-Tropez for the fight. And we'll have coverage from Avignon and, of course, all of the action during the week on the Tour de France.
Well, Aquino is holding Thomas behind the head, and Thomas is just scoring points to the body.
The referee is Larry O'Connell from Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Thomas told Emmanuel Stewart between rounds, I'm okay, and he sure looks at this round so far.
Little blood from the lip of the champion Thomas. Doesn't look like anything serious, but some bleeding. A right hand from Aquino landed. Wide, looping right to the ear.
Aquino has to be a real good puncher, though, Tim, because he moved Thomas with that punch, despite the fact it was a glancing blow.
Whoa, big right hand by the champion, and Aquino just fires right back. And another combination by Thomas And a little break for Thomas as Aquino seemed to be a little hurt. But the referee stepped in. Thomas knows he's got him hurt.
Tim, the referee helped.
Yes, he did.
Thomas that time. He told Aquino to stop, and when Aquino stopped, Thomas hit him with a beautiful combination.
Aquino in some difficulty. Hasn't made up his mind whether to stay close or get on the bike. Now he throws out a solid left jab.
Thomas has a bad cut, Tim.
In the mouth. That's
no, Tim. He's cut over the right eye as well.
Gil.
And that is old scar tissue, Tim.
We'll get a closer look at that when we can. Under 30 seconds to go. We're in round 7. Trading bombs now.
Thomas knows he has to let it hang all out now, Tim.
You can see the blood now from the inside corner of the right eye of the champion Thomas. Ralph Citro will be a busy man between rounds. The cut man in the corner of the champion. Round number 8. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy, the champion Thomas, with a bad cut on old scar tissue at the corner of his right eye to the bridge of his nose. Also bleeding slightly from the mouth.
Emmanuel Stewart said that it's a real bad cut. Ralph Citro said, don't worry about it, I got it.
Ralph Citro.
Meanwhile, in Aquino's corner, they told him, work on the cut. And I never heard this word in the corner before. They said, when Thomas gets rambunctious, just walk away from him. And he was certainly rambunctious last round.
Well, we scored that round for Thomas, who's closed up the scoring as we see it to this point. But he has a problem with that cut. Aquino staying close to him here.
And Aquino is hanging on, Tim. Thomas is now starting to avoid that stiff left jab of Aquino's.
Thomas's first title defense is scheduled to meet Aquino back in April. Had to pull out of it.
Big left hook by Aquino to the body. Switched over to the southpaw style and buried it. There's the two bulls again.
We're in round 8, scheduled for 12. Straight up the middle from the champion, a right hand landed.
Well, there's no question that Thomas throws the straighter punches.
Well, except for that jab you've been admiring from Aquino, that's a good straight shot.
Yes, it is, Tim. Beautiful jab. And he can throw it from his knee, which makes it very difficult to see. Drops his left hand and sticks it up there. There it is, down again now. There it comes up.
Solid left hook from the champion. Short right hand from Aquino. Another combination scored by Thomas.
Thomas is starting to use his legs a little bit now.
Under a minute remaining, round 9. Round 8, pardon me. We're in the 8th round.
Thomas is really putting the pressure on now. Low blow by Aquino.
Gets a warning from the referee O'Connell. Big right hand by Aquino. Tremendous shot. Thomas covering up. Aquino pouring it on, but good defense by Thomas after that big one got through.
He's very calm, Thomas. The guy whose championship is on the line. Very, very calm fighter. Well schooled. Aquino is by far the more emotional of the two.
Final seconds of the 8th round. Ready for round number 9. Ralph Citro taking a little extra time in the corner to work on that cut, but he did a good job in round number 8, as it did not open up badly for Thomas after he suffered it late in round 7.
And Thomas got nailed with some good shots last round, Tim.
Lupe Aquino on our card is ahead of the champion, however. We have it 5 rounds to 3. The judging will be done by Duane Ford of Las Vegas, Sid Nathan of Great Britain, Luis Michel of France.
And Tim, don't forget the knockdown could be a big factor, because that's right. At least a 2-point round.
Round number 2 scored by Aquino. body shot from the clinch by Aquino.
See, Tim, the way he flicks that left hand up. Very difficult to block.
Tried that left hook underneath. Thomas pulled away in time.
Aquino would be better advised, Tim. He rushes in now. Once in a while, he should okey-doke. He should start skipping in, try to make Thomas reach.
Still bothering the champion with the jab.
There's that switch again.
Right hand blocked by the arm of Aquino.
But that right hand brought Aquino against the ropes is where Thomas wants him.
Uppercut scored by Aquino, and a little holding and hitting, and got away with a couple there. Now gets a warning from the referee O'Connell, who is speaking a little more sternly to the Californian.
Tim, he is one tough guy.
Under a minute to go, round 9, scheduled for 12 under WBC championship rules. Combination by Aquino. Right hand by the champion. Another right hand. Boy, these guys are both taking some shots. Aquino getting the best of that infighting, a little holding and hitting again. Another warning from the referee. So far, no points deducted from Aquino. Right hand by the champion, straight down the pipe.
Get your hand up. Get it up. Right. Stand back. Stand back.
The referee is doing a good job, Tim. He's controlling the fight. Nice combination.
Coming to the end of round number 9. Round number 10, scheduled for 12. Duane Thomas trying to defend his WBC super welterweight crown at 154 pounds. And as we have it, a close fight with the challenger ahead and a probable 2-point round for his knockdown in round 2. So these last 3 rounds are critical.
Very, very tough fight to score, Tim. Good combination by Aquino. So far, Thomas has not been able to move Aquino when he hits him. Even when he hits Aquino a good shot, Aquino counters. Very, very strong guy. Burying those shots underneath.
Stop boxing, stop boxing. Time out, stop boxing.
Again, another warning from the referee, but we have not had an indication he's taken a point away from Aquino, but he's given him numerous warnings for holding and hitting. If he did deduct points, that could become critical in what we see as a quite close fight now, with Aquino still in front of our cards.
Right, stand back.
The cut, which looked like it might be a big problem for the champion in round 7, has not been since then.
Getting nailed now, Tim.
Yes, he is. That's a good flurry by
Big
Aquino.
right hand.
Got Thomas in trouble again. Aquino backs him into the champion's corner. Thomas looking a little leg weary after that last flurry of punches.
Tim.
But
Nailed Aquino with a big punch.
Toe to toe they go. Both of them firing bombs.
Tim, Thomas looks a little worse aware to me, Tim. Looks like he's a little tired now, starting to weaken. Aquino's able to move him around.
Under a minute to go in the 10th round. A 12-round championship distance.
And Thomas's mouth is wide open.
Another solid left by Aquino and a right behind it. Aquino pressuring the champion. Game display by Thomas here as he just fires back without the same zip.
Cut over the other eye now, Tim. Thomas is now cut over both eyes, left and right.
This one at the corner of the left eye.
Tim, Thomas is used to these kind of fights from the workouts in the Kronk gym. This is the way they work every day. Nailed Aquino with a big right hand.
Coming to the end of the 10th round. What a round. Live from Bordeaux, France, CBS Sports Sunday, round 11, and the champion Thomas comes out firing.
Tim, this is another big round, because if Aquino manages to survive this round and hold his own, he can dance around that 12th round. I think he has the fight.
Well, we gave him round 10 in a big way, and that has him ahead on our card.
One thing Thomas doesn't like is hard, Tim. He's the kind of a guy that can knock him down and be throwing a punch while he's falling. But he's tired, Tim. He's a tired man right now. Very tired.
We have Aquino 6-3 and 1 even, and of course a knockdown scored in round 2. We're in round 11.
Heavy blows by both fighters, but Aquino is the stronger man at the moment.
Lupe Aquino, 23 years of age, from Santa Paula, California. Duane Thomas from the Kronk stable in Detroit, his first title defense. And as we see it now, desperately trying to hang on to his crown.
You know, Tim, when fighters get tired, that's the time to use that good stiff jab, because they can't get out of the way. But they get into the swing of things and they just want to bomb. Good combinations by Aquino. He has Thomas in bad trouble now, Tim.
That cut on the left eye starting to open up again. Thomas looking shot-worn. Another right hand by Aquino. Aquino pummeling the champion at will.
Tim, they said that Aquino was the kind of a guy that backed off when he got you hurt. I haven't seen it in this fight. He raised his hands in victory, and they still have a lot of time to go.
Well, that's for his friends and family who traveled all the way from California. He's aware of them. Right hand by Aquino. Left hand return from Thomas. But Aquino just acting like he's got this thing won.
There goes those legs bouncing around.
Under a minute to go, round number 11 from the Marignac Sports Complex. We continue our sojourn of the Tour de France and our championship boxing action. We may be seeing an upset here.
Well, one thing we are seeing, Tim, is a great fight.
Lupe and Duane certainly have given it all they've got in this high humidity and very severe heat.
And Thomas's left eye, Tim, besides being cut, is just about closed. He can hardly see out of it.
Under 30 seconds to go in the 11th round. Aquino under and over, backs up the champion into the ropes again.
And look at him bounce on those legs, Tim. You think it was the first round?
Weary-looking Thomas on the ropes just above us.
Tim, if I'm not mistaken, he smiled at me just now.
Final seconds of the 11th round, and a warning again to Aquino for holding and hitting. Round number 12. Boxers not off their stools yet. There's the second gong. And the champion, Duane Thomas, in some difficulty as we see it on our card. And now they've asked the challenger's corner, Aquino, to take some of that water off his head. So time is stopped here in this final round. In fact, the referee, Larry O'Connell from Belfast, asking both corners to do a little cleanup of the water they use between rounds.
Well, Tim, I'd hate to see a fighter lose because he slipped on water and got nailed.
Well, there's a real flood in the corner of Thomas, and there was a lot on the head and hair of
Tim. He
Lupe.
nailed to Thomas right away with a right hand. But, Tim, why is he fighting this fight? I don't think Thomas can win anymore unless he scores a knockout.
I think this is the way Lupe Aquino wants to fight. He loves the combat. Now gets a warning for using his head inside. Thomas,
He got nailed, Tim.
took a shot and fired two back of his own. So Aquino perhaps risking his opportunity at a title. You would think his corner has to tell him he's ahead as we see it, but he wants to end it with a knockout.
He's busy with the crowd, Tim. What a confident guy he is. He's been that way all week, and that's the way he fought the fight.
You can see him trying to get the crowd into it, and he's got them with him now. The challenger and the tiger striped trunks has been a tiger tonight.
Got nailed again, Thomas, and he's a tired man, Tim. He's trying, but he's tired.
It is nearly midnight in Bordeaux, France.
Well, Tim, we were talking about Thomas being a superstar. This Aquino is certainly a colorful guy.
In every way, and he can fight. Look at this. He's just getting the crowd into it here. No fear of being stopped. That's obvious. What a show by Lupe Aquino from Santa Paula, California.
Now Thomas is switching to southpaw, Tim. He's a confused fighter.
We're in the final round of this WBC
Duane
championship
Thomas has
distance.
switched to southpaw.
I don't think it can help him now. Smothered by Aquino, so Thomas didn't get any punches off. He's got to land the big one, but it's Aquino pressuring.
Just doesn't have it anymore, Tim.
No, he's a tired man, fighting gamely, but without a lot of ability at this point.
Oh, there he goes.
Down he goes off the ropes, a right hand from Aquino. Thomas had landed, but Aquino just walked through the punches and sent the champion to the canvas.
Well, that's what I said, Tim, that Thomas could not move Aquino with a punch. Even when he nailed him, Aquino was punching right back.
Thomas gamely up. Aquino trying to finish him here in this final round. Under 30 seconds to go in the fight.
Tim, Aquino certainly was well prepared for this fight.
Tremendous display by the challenger. Tijuana born, now living in Santa Paula, California. Moved there when he was 3 years old, and he's brought some more boxing pride.
Well, there'll be no more
California.
There'll be no knockout, Tim.
Final seconds, and the referee O'Connell stopping the fight here. Again, the time here, asking them to avoid the headbutts. Final seconds of the fight. The clock was stopped. They will do that here in Europe. And now the bell sounds, and we'll be back with the decision. Lupe Aquino from Santa Paula, California, and the champion Duane Thomas. And here is Michael Buffer with the decision.
I'll do the number. Mesdames et messieurs, le résultat. Judge. English. 116, 111, 117, 110, 114, 113 pour le gagnant, le nouveau champion.
It is a unanimous decision for Lupe Aquino. Unanimous decision.
And there goes Mama in the ring.
And new champion, Lupe Aquino. Congratulations to him. And so for Gil Clancy, John Dockery, Phil Liggett, and all of us here in Bordeaux, I'm Tim Ryan saying au revoir from France.